Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everybody. It is something that can help you heal. And it's so simple. And it's been around for hundreds of years, if not longer. And you don't have to do anything. You don't have to take medication. You don't have to even go to a doctor. No surgery, nothing like that. I'm talking about energy healing, specifically Reiki. And she helps people with this all the time. We're going to go a little bit deeper in terms of explaining how this works and what it does. Neurodivergency is a term that's been going around. I'm not even sure how to explain it, but that's where the magic happens. And she's here from P.L.Y. Healing. She is Linzi Schreiner, and she's back with us. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm good, Steve. How are you?
Well, yeah, I've heard this word neurodivergent or divergency. I loosely have an idea of what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Can you enlighten us on that one?
Yeah. So my understanding of neurodivergence is the individuals, kids, adults that experience thinking a little differently. So maybe they have ADHD, maybe they struggle with autism, maybe they're on the spectrum, overstimulation. And it's something that's very personal to me. I have 3 neurodivergent children, 2 that have ADHD and 1 with autism, epilepsy, and a rare genetic condition. And so for me, her experience and our story is what led me to becoming a Reiki practitioner, but adding Reiki into their treatment plans has been the game changer. And I don't think a lot of people in the world are aware. And so I would love to share that story.
This speaks volumes because you're a mom in a situation. You want the best for your children. You want the best connection, all of that. And this is what you chose. This is pretty huge. Yeah, please share.
Yeah. So as a mom of 3 neurodivergent children, including one with autism and epilepsy, I've walked the road of sensory overload, of seizures, of silence, and just so many unknowns. And I've lived the sleepless nights. I have been through the therapy marathons and the worry, also the miracles that happen having neurodivergence in your world. One of the most powerful tools that has supported us, especially my youngest daughter, has been Reiki. I wholeheartedly believe Reiki has been a contributing factor in her healing journey. It's helped regulate her nervous system. It's helped keep seizures dormant after our brain surgery. We haven't had a single seizure since her brain surgery. It's increased the effectiveness of her medications. And honestly, most incredibly, it supported her transition from being nonverbal. We were told that she would never talk, to now being verbal in her communication.
Amazing. I knew Reiki was good. I've experienced it and the benefits, but this takes it to a whole other plateau. I mean, literally a plateau. Amazing.
It is. And I don't want to put the illusion out there that Reiki is a magic fix, because it's not. But it's a sacred support system. It's gentle. It's grounding. And it's one of the most beautiful forms of self-care I've ever experienced, both for me and my children. And it just enhances the treatment protocols that we're utilizing. We still take the medications, we still go to the therapies, but Reiki has helped unravel the edges and the stress that comes from that. It's helped us let go, and it's increased the effectiveness of what we're taking, but also it's helped balance their nervous systems.
I'm intrigued about every aspect of what you just said, right down to Reiki making medication more effective. Now, I said earlier, you don't have to take medication, or you might not need to with Reiki. Nothing wrong with medication. Now, if you could do something to not take it, okay, great, if that's your choice. But to know that there's something there that can make it work even better. Wow. What do you think why is that happening?
It happens because Reiki can up the vibration of things, or just up the effectiveness of things. For example, to what you just said, I have 2 children that are not medicated. We tried that. It wasn't for us. We chose a different path. It wasn't for them. Reiki has helped them the most. Me, I am ADHD. I choose not to take medication, and Reiki has been the thing that has changed the game for me because it helps me stay regulated. It helps me stay in a balanced state. Reiki brings balance to the body and it activates your natural healing abilities, but it also brings balance to the brain and the brain chemistry. So much so, not to take it to a completely different subject, but Reiki is now being offered in hospitals, specifically around anesthesia, because it helps people come out of anesthesia more easily, and it helps the effectiveness of anesthesia, and you don't have to use as much when a Reiki practitioner is in a surgery room. It's a fact. You can look it up on Google.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah.
So with that, Reiki comes in and it enhances what is best for you. And so let's say that you are on a medication. It would increase the effectiveness of that because it balances your body, and the power of Reiki would then come into the medication and make it more effective to treat you in the way that you need. On a flip side of that, if it's not for you, it would become more obvious and you'd be able to choose a different path for yourself.
Wow. Back to the surgery and Reiki there. It's my understanding that they'll bring in a Reiki practitioner in some hospitals, not only for the patient, but for the doctors, just so they're centered, their energy is right. And I also have heard that it would be more widespread, except insurance companies don't want to allow anybody else in a surgery suite, and just being careful. And just
we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Bigger cities, you're seeing it more. Where I'm from, it's not there yet. But my daughter, the one with autism, she really struggled with anesthesia. We have to get MRIs every year to look at brain tumors that she has in her brain, to check on growth. And historically, she would come out of anesthesia hysterical, to the point where it would take multiple nurses and doctors and people to help get her from the room into our car, because she would lash around. She would lose, she wasn't in her body yet. She still was kind of out there. And when I became a Reiki practitioner, at first I was very shy about it because I was afraid of being judged. I think there's a fear, even within myself, of being seen sometimes, not now, but then of being seen as a Reiki practitioner, because I didn't want to be accused of being a witch or be seen as weird. It's different. Not a lot of people know about it. But as I became braver, as I, became more comfortable in my truth of being a healer, being a Reiki practitioner, I started voicing that. And so I now advocate to be in the room in the very early stages of her coming out of anesthesia, so that I can administer Reiki on her. And she hasn't had a single tantrum since we started doing that. She comes out very easily. As a matter of fact, she comes out joyful and gleeful and almost goofy, which is so sweet, because that's who Bailey is. I'm sorry, that's my daughter's name. That's who she is. But we've never seen that after anesthesia. It's almost like a monster comes back.
Wow. And understandable. I mean, many people have challenges with anesthesia, right down to nausea. Now, they'll give you medication because it has many different effects on many different people. You never know how you're going to react to it. I say this with love to anybody that hasn't grasped Reiki or has an aversion. 2 words, and again, I mean it with love: wake up, because it's a game changer. And maybe at this point we should reiterate how it works in terms of vibration. As I was reading, another explanation of it today, where our bodies or our organs, everything, vibrate at certain frequencies. Then when we're off, from stress, traumas, I had an argument with somebody this morning. Things are off now. Your vibration, your energy is off. This brings that vibration back to where it should be in your body. I hope I explained that right. I think it's accurate, but I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yes, it is that. Reiki is an ancient Japanese tool that you have to learn from a teacher, and it has been passed down and passed down and passed down. But ultimately, it helps raise the vibration, and Reiki translates to universal life force energy in Japanese. So Reiki, or Chi, right? I think most of us know what Chi is. It's our life force. It's our energy. And so Reiki is utilized by putting hands on the body, by either touching the body or hovering above, depending on your practitioner and the comfort level of the client. It can be done in person and it can be done through distance. And so when it's activated, it's transferred from the teacher into the, I would say patient, but it's not a patient, it's more of a client. And when that happens, Reiki is an intelligent life force energy. So there's no part of me that has to know what's going on, but it will go straight to the area of your body that needs the most attention. But there's symbols and ways of the practitioner to be able to amplify that energy and to target certain areas of the body. For example, when I am working on myself or my children, specifically around focus or balancing my brain, because with ADHD, you're processing multiple things at once. I always frame it for my children as a superpower because we're very effective. We can get a lot done. We're great multitaskers. We're great project managers. But at the same time, it can be very challenging because we lose motivation. It's easy to get distracted. And we are also very easily overwhelmed, easily overstimulated. And Reiki can help balance that. And so I activate a specific symbol almost every day on myself and on my children, just to help bring more balance to the brain specifically, to help the right side and the left side function better, so that maybe we're able to channel our superpower of ADHD versus our disfocused, dysregulated, overstimulated aspect of our ADHD brains.
Would you say with ADHD, the vibration, the frequency, that's what this is all about. That's what energy is, a vibration. And we vibrate at certain frequencies. Everything does, right down to the chair you're on, the pen you're holding, and our bodies. Do you think with ADHD that the frequency may waver a lot? Kind of best description, maybe all over the place in terms of vibrational frequency, and this kind of Reiki reins it in.
Our brain chemistry works differently, and so therefore it would impact our frequency, especially if we're overstemmed. It's going to bring you into a lower vibrational state because you're going to get stressed, which lowers your vibration. And with that, where Reiki comes in, it really helps bring balance into that for you so that you can function in your very best way, along with therapies and other aspects of things. I'm
glad you said that, because we're not saying do Reiki and nothing else. You don't need
exactly.
It's the one-stop shop for everything to heal you. No. There's if you need other things, albeit medication, therapy, counseling, coaching, whatever. Sure, if you need that to support you. Linzi, do you remember the first time or that moment where you realized that Reiki, oh, this is real. This actually works?
I do. So funny story. I'd never heard of Reiki before I decided to take a training.
Wow.
When my daughter got wheeled in for her brain surgery, I remember feeling an energy pass through me into her. When my hands were on her, when I was holding her, she was seizing. We were being rolled back into surgery. I did not know how she would come out of that surgery room, if she would be the same way, if she would lose functionality. We had a lot of high risks with her surgery. And I have now know that I have been a healer since I was a little girl and have been able to channel energy through me into healing others for a long time. But it was in that moment when I felt that energy pass through me and it was like a knowing. I knew she would be okay. All of my worry dissipated. I felt so calm and so held. If you're a religious person, you could say it was God. If you are a spiritual person, you can say it was universe. I just felt so supported in that moment. I said, okay, it's time for me to find an energetic certification program, and talk to a few friends, and they got me in touch with Reiki. When I did Reiki for the first time, I felt sensations in my body. I've always been an intuitive, and that's what contributed to my ADHD, which I'd like to come back to in a minute, because it's not just ADHD for me. It's also intuition coming in and information coming in. And there are other people out there are probably struggling with the same things, which may be why medication is not working for you. If you identify with that, hit me up. But when I had my first Reiki session, I experienced things I'd never experienced in my life before. I thought it was not real. I thought it was all in my head. I felt sensation in my body. I had visions. I could feel my grandmother, who has been in when she was living, she was my savior. She was the person I idolized the most. And she's the reason I am who I am today. But I felt her. And not only did I feel her, I got a message from her. And it was that I was a healer. I could see her. And she said, this is your purpose in life. This is what's going to heal Bailey. And when I came out of that, I was freaked out. What just happened? Did someone slip me a hallucinogenic? It felt wild. And so it was in that moment I realized the effectiveness of this. And it started for me a profound healing journey of returning to myself, because I lost myself through neurodivergence. I lost myself through the therapies, the doctors, the hospitalizations, like all of the things that come along with neurodivergence. It's overwhelming. And as a mother of a child, you lose yourself because everything becomes about that. It really does. And Reiki brought me back to myself, which is also why I'm designing a coaching program called Returning to You for the women in the world that have lost themselves through motherhood and life in general, because I believe in it that much, because Reiki changed my life so much that I now want to return that gift to other mothers and women in the world that lost their sense of self.
Thanks to you, I and all of us have a different view of Reiki. Yeah, I'm a fan for a long time. This takes it to new levels of what it can do, how it can change lives. And thank you for being honest and beautifully transparent about the intuition thing. We all have it. It's amazing. My intuition is fantastic. It's insane when I use it.
Right. When you use it.
When you use it. So many times I'll get, feelings and I'll go against them, or I'll test them. You know what? I shouldn't be doing that, or I shouldn't go there, but I'm going to go there anyway. I'm just kind of curious what it's going to be like. Even, call it an event or something. And intuition tells me, don't waste your time, dude. And I'm like, nah, I just got to see. And time again, spot on. We know we have the answers within us, but things get in the way, be it life, distractions, neurodivergence, I guess, maybe can get in the way of your intuition. But Reiki seems to be the home base, bringing it all back in.
For me, it has been. It's been the major game changer. And for others that are unaware of it, especially I think with neurodivergence, especially as parents of children with neurodivergence, we want to fix it, but you can't. It's out of your control. And it's hard to accept that it's out of your control, which is another way Reiki can come in, because it really does help with acceptance in your life, with instead of changing it, accepting it and embracing it. At least that's what it did for me. Nothing about my life has changed. It's not any easier, but I handle it so much differently now because I know it's not all on me. I'm willing to give it over to something bigger than me and trust that the right people and the right situations will present themselves to help us. And that's what's happened time and time again. We've had people come into our life that is the exact right therapist for us, or we've had, we participate in something called oh my gosh, why am I blanking? Like because I'm live on a podcast. Applied behavior analysis, ABA therapy. And that is the Surgeon General's #1 recommended treatment for children and adults with autism, to help not reverse the diagnosis, but to help them with life skills and to learn and grow and develop. And it's a very intensive and invasive form of therapy. It's every single day for 4 to 5 hours a day. It's a huge sacrifice. And the system's kind of convoluted, and it can be very frustrating. We've had a lot of therapists cycle in and out of our life, but the right person always seems to find us. And so I feel like Reiki enhances those therapies. It enhances my ability as a mom to relinquish control and to trust. And it also places the right people in our life when they're meant to be there.
Maybe
And
that's happening,
that,
though. Maybe that's happening because you're changing your energy thanks to
yep,
Reiki. And
right.
it's been said you attract. So maybe
You attract because my vibration is higher and I'm then able to receive
and
at that
that's
love frequency. And that's what Reiki does.
and that's
Yeah.
why maybe those therapists showed up because you're sending it out there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, yeah, I'm the one. Whoop, and then they show up. I've always, or quite often, described a Reiki session giving clarity. And I've even had one on a
Yeah.
Sunday, and then come Monday, personal situations like, oh, wow, I see it so differently. I have a better understanding, a better grip on it. Maybe I got extra sleep. No, I didn't. I got Reiki. Do you think that that's what's going on for you in your journey of, best description, dealing with things? A lot going on, a lot on your plate, a lot. You can't change many of those things, but you see them in a different way with that clarity that came from Reiki. Does that make sense?
It does. And I agree. And that's where I say my life has changed so dramatically because I no longer feel like I have to control it. I no longer feel that it is my responsibility to fix my children because I have accepted they don't need fixed. They just need loved. And they need me to be at my very best in order to love them in the way that they need to be most successful in their own lives. And that to me is where Reiki has been such a powerful life force because I don't get to float around without responsibility. I don't want to paint that picture. I'm very detail oriented. I have to be organized. But the pressure that I had on my shoulders, and it sometimes creeps back up. I'm human too, people.
Sure.
But Reiki comes in and unruffles those feathers. As a matter of fact, when I began to experience overstimulation and stress to the point where it's disrupting my sleep, I have these indicators now that I recognize where I'm all of a sudden craving sugary, salty foods that I don't normally eat. I begin to crave alcohol, which I don't typically consume. I begin to have disrupted sleep patterns. And I start neglecting my self-care, my motivation goes away. Those things for me are red flags that I need to receive, that I've been giving too much, and that I need to call my teacher, my provider to receive myself. And never fails. I always feel so balanced afterwards. And even though nothing changed, I feel like I can tackle it better because my head is more clear. I feel more grounded. I feel more balanced in my body, and I feel safe. Additionally, I've struggled with a lot of throat chakra blocks where I'm not really, when your throat is blocked, it contributes to your ability to speak your truth and to articulate things clearly, but also helps you hear things clearly too. And so when we have a blockage, we're very reactive. We have a hard time articulating our point. We get very frustrated, and maybe we're not hearing somebody else's truth, but interpreting it through our own lens. And so miscommunications can happen, and we take things a little bit more personal, and our anxiety goes up. So when I start hearing some of those things with people, I'm like, oh, we've got a throat chakra block we need to work through. I've struggled with that a lot. And Reiki also comes in, it helps balance that, where then I'm better able to advocate for my children. I'm better able to speak on behalf of them. And also I'm able to hear a little better. So maybe I'm not nearly as overwhelmed because I'm actually hearing what someone's intention is instead of maybe the words they're using.
Well, think of it. When we get challenged, we get a lot of stuff going on, whether you're processing things, you got life and everything. Sometimes you don't hear. Sometimes you don't speak your truth. It's almost like a domino effect. One thing, and then it accumulates, and then you've got even more challenges, more frustration. But Reiki is kind of the center, kind of centers you. That's what I'm feeling. I got to tell you, Linzi, seeing it in a totally different light, talking to you today. Wow. Powerful stuff. And I appreciate that. How do we find you?
You can find me at www.plyhealing.com. you can contact me there, and I would love to have some conversations with you.
Like you said, game changer. It really is. Thank you again for today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Talk to you next time.
We'll be right back. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.